And Sudan has agreed a roadmap to rehabilitate the country with the World Bank, International Monetary Fund and African Development Bank. Finance Minister Ibrahim El-Badawi said the plan involved structural reforms but did not go into further details. According to him, as part of the deal, Sudan would not have to pay its lenders debt arrears. There could also be non-financial support. Sudan's inclusion on a list of countries deemed sponsors of terrorism by the United States makes it ineligible for debt relief and financing from lenders like the International Monetary Fund and World Bank, cutting off a crucial source of finance. And the World Bank could provide as much as $5 billion to Democratic Republic of Congo over the next 5 years if its new government commits to raising more revenue, fighting corruption, and opening up its economy. The financing will be a welcome boost for Congo's new president, Felix Tshisekedi, who has promised a bold series of costly social programs, including free primary school education for more than 20 million children. Last month, the International Monetary Fund said it's considering resuming lending to the country after a 7-year hiatus. The World Bank is offering to support parts of the government's agenda, but not at any price. Aid from the Washington-based lender will be conditioned on government commitments to increase revenue and improve management of everything from health and education to Congo's burgeoning mining industry. The World Bank is also pushing the government to reduce the number of tax exemptions it gives to various businesses. And for update from the Nigerian equities market, let's cross over now to the trading floor with Temple Ashaju. Good afternoon, Temple. Well, at about midday, we saw the market looking set to end positive. The index was in the green. Is that still the case at the moment?
Sure. Absolutely, Chimeze. The market is really active. Investors are really active. Traders are also making all of these activities positive. As we've seen so far today, the key benchmark indices is up some 0.4% as we speak. We've seen renewed interest in some companies, some stocks here with some high dividend paying stocks, so basically like Guarantee Trust Bank, you got Access Bank, and you have PZ as well, currently looking green in the market, even though we know that Access Bank opened a little bit negative. Some folks just decided to sell down some huge millions units of their interest or stake in that company early in the morning when the market opened. But as we speak right now, things are very positive. Access Bank is up some 3.85% or thereabouts. And of course, we've seen over 66 million units of the shares traded. So basically, the attention has been on a lot of those companies with impressive bright spots as things are in the market. Given the sense that last week we saw a little bit of sell down in the banking names, and of course some other good companies with positive potentials for the market. So right now we're seeing some kind of renewed interest in a lot of these companies because it is believed that the price correction has bottomed out, basically, as things are reflecting in the market this morning. Chimeze.
Okay, so what's the outlook for the week? This sentiment we're seeing today, do you see that being sustained? And what, of course, will drive this sentiment in the course of the week?
Well, I think investors, as the week opens today, we should continue to see this level of active trading, possibly till midweek, because going by the earnings that came out last week and the week before, we had seen some companies, displaying very positive posture in terms of their operations. Access Bank is a major example. I think investors have now listened to the conference call. They've also been able to digest the details of those numbers very well. It appears that a lot of the key line items came in double digits, which is very positive for the company. Of course, you've also seen the fact that some 57 billion naira was declared in the non-interest income line, which makes that very, very attractive to investors in the market. Some folks even projected just 57 billion for the non-interest key line, but of course it came in way more than that by some 2 billion plus. So that's a major company that investors have been eyeing. If you check, the share price is gravitating towards 9 naira now, because again, as it opened this morning, it opened higher at 8 naira plus. And so the interest of investors has actually increased on that particular company compared to its peers, which is currently lagging, behind. So those are companies that people will continue to focus on. You've got some deals as well going out, playing out in the market. These are areas that investors will continue to check as well. You've got the likes of CCNN, which is currently making some gains as well, almost 4% gains in the share price this morning. You have Dangote Cement. You also have a couple of other companies, that are pushing their rights issues. So those are the areas that investors will be watching for the rest of this week. Chimeze.
So what is the latest with the deals in the market?
Okay, so let me start with that of Dangote Flour Mill, which is to be acquired by Olam Nigeria Limited. Over the weekend, the company's board actually released a couple of statements or notices to the stock exchange, which has also been passed to the investing public, especially for those that actually have stake in those companies, for them to now start getting set for the payments or for the shares scheme arrangement, payments from the scheme of arrangements that has been reached between Dangote Flour Mill and Olam Nigeria Limited. We understand the escrow account has been credited already. The registrar has been informed. So those shareholders that have stake in these companies are basically to expect payment within the next 2 to 3 days, because the statement actually stated some 4 business days. It is within 4 business days that these investors will get their money. So this is a particular side of the Dangote Flour Mill. We also understand that some of the board members have now resigned from that company, while a couple of other members have been replaced with those that actually left. So that tells you that that particular side of the deal has been consummated. For CCNN, which is Cement Company of Northern Nigeria, that is to be merged with Obu Cement, we understand that there's going to be some kind of an extraordinary general meeting in Abuja, sometimes in December. The shareholders are asked to gear up for that, to vote, in favor of the deal. And of course, all of the major resolutions that are supposed to be handled by the board members of this particular company. So that is also in the works, and investors are weighing their options on this particular company to be sure that it will pay off eventually. And that probably explains the reason why we're seeing the uptick that we've seen on the company this morning. The other one will be Dangote Cement, which of course will be expecting the company to inform the Nigerian investing public about this week to show that, the share buyback is something that will pay them eventually.
All right, Temple, thank you for the update. Well, that's a wrap on the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwagu.